Right, welcome. So we're talking Birds of Prey. Okay, there's not really too much to kind of get into with respect to this movie. A few things. We'll get all the good stuff out of the way first, because this movie definitely has an audience. It's just not me. Now, I've just got back from watching it. Okay, the audience that would really like this film. Okay, so again, we're going to focus all on the good stuff right now. Would be the people that really liked Suicide Squad. Okay, that's firmly what I believe. This is a better version of Suicide Squad in every way, actually, but it's just not for me, and I just didn't personally resonate with it. So definitely it has its audience, because Suicide Squad has its audience, right? People that like Suicide Squad, go out and watch this movie. I think you'll really like it. Yeah, genuinely, I think you'll like it. There is some great acting from quite a lot of people in this, like Margot Robbie. I don't personally think she's a good Harley Quinn, but she acts the hell out of it. Literally everyone is actually really good. Meredith Winstead was hilarious in this, but hilarious in a good way. We had Jeannie Smollett-Bell. She was great. She was really, really cool. Very, very, very good as Black Canary. Obviously, Mary Elizabeth Winstead is Huntress, or the Crossbow Killer, as that's like a running joke in the movie. We've got Rosie Perez. She was probably the weaker link out of the main Birds of Prey gang, and then of course the girl who played Cassandra Cain. I can't remember her name. I think it is. I mean, I'm literally even looking at the list of people right now, and I can't see where it is. Where is it? Okay, Ella J. Basco. Sorry, she was not good in this. She was the worst actor in here. I didn't really buy her as Cassandra Cain at all, out of the main bunch. But that being said, everyone else out of the main bunch was pretty good. Like, genuinely, Meredith Winstead, very, very funny. Quite liked her in this, actually. Really, really quite liked her. And I first knew of Meredith Winstead from the Cloverfield movie, which I thought she was fantastic in, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Now, Ewan McGregor and Chris Messina were good. Like, they acted the hell out of it, but didn't buy them as the characters they're supposed to be playing. So, again, focusing all on the good. They were very, very good in their respective roles. I just didn't like them as the characters, because I couldn't see them as the characters. And again, to liken it to Suicide Squad as people who like Suicide Squad, and this is a better version of it. If you remember, Suicide Squad used a lot of named songs which you would listen and go, I know that song, but they did it really terribly. Like, it was awful, and I know people will like it. Calm down, let me make my point. This did it really, really well, actually. Lots of named songs. There's even Black Betty in there at one point. There's Man's World. So many songs, but all used in a really good way. So when I'm comparing it to the likes of Suicide Squad, that's the kind of tone that I'm comparing it to. You know, it uses those songs that were ham-fisted in Suicide Squad. Doesn't use the same songs, but it does it in a better way. The fight choreography is very cartoonish, but it's good. I don't think anyone, no matter what you think of this movie, could hate the fight choreography, because it's actually really well done. Some solid action pieces in this. Now, the director, who is it? Kathy Yan. Now, Kathy Yan actually did a really good job at this. Now, there's certain bits and pieces which we're going to get into which are not so good, but I want to cover all of the good stuff first, okay? And then you can bugger off if you don't want to listen to the rest of it. But she had some very clever direction in this film. How she set up certain frames, certain scenes, and she's framing the certain scene and things like this. She's a very good storytelling director. From a visual perspective, it was really well done. And there's some great cinematography in this film, actually. Surprisingly so. Some stuff which I didn't think I'd be sat here saying that. You know, I thought I'd watch this movie and it would just be complete balls. But from a technical perspective, there was some really good stuff. But then, okay, and now this is where I do have to touch on some of the bad stuff, and then we will go into spoilers here as well. So if you don't want any spoilers and you don't want to hear what I thought of the movie in terms of a critical and objective way, i.e. noting good, which I've just done for 5 minutes, and bad, because that's objective reviewing, then just leave now. But let's get into it. I hated this movie. Like, I think it's absolutely terrible. For many, many reasons. Like, I've listed all the good things, okay? But on a storytelling narrative, it's not good. It's very janky. The pacing is bad. And we're not even touching on the main offenders of why I dislike it. But the storytelling. So we open... The leaks were all 100% true, by the way. The leaked plot and things like that. 100% true. We leak with Harley Quinn telling a story of how she... Well, we start, actually, her entire backstory. And then she cuts with the Joker, she finishes with him, blows up Ace Chemicals, and it's backwards and forwards. It's got to find a diamond, and then we come to the end, right? But in doing so, we're going backwards and forwards, telling different people's stories, and it's trying to do something really smart, but it's dumb about it. It's really, really dumb. And because we're going backwards and forwards, we don't get quite enough momentum for when we get to that third act, which is the big fight, literally men versus girls, because that's quite literally what it is. It doesn't feel quite like a payoff when we get there because of the bad pacing, because we don't get the momentum required to feel it. And that's a problem. That's down to the writers. It's not so much down to the direction, it's just bad writing. And the writer on this was Christina Hodson. I'm not familiar with what else she has done, but that's bad writing. Okay, because the director doesn't have a say in that, and it was just bad. Now, the other massive, massive issue I have with this film is every single man is a dick. Every man is the worst person you've ever seen in your life. Every single one. There is no redeemable man in this film. Now, the problem with that in this movie, okay, and it's fine because I accept that men are dicks and things like this. I'm well aware some men are dicks. However, ladies and gentlemen, when we had a sustained 4-month, 5-6-month hate campaign against the Joker, and then it continued into the reviews, bearing in mind, that film had both good and bad characters from respective genders, right? In fact, one of the most redeemable characters in the movie was a woman. When we have that, and we've suffered through all of that the media backlash of, this is going to be incel movie, this incel, that, blah, blah, blah. And then we have this film, which every single man is a dickhead, and it's just women going around murdering men. I take real umbrage with that, because it removed me from the film. Because all I could think when I was watching this film now was, I bet you no one's going to comment on that. I bet you there's going to be a double standard. I bet you anything. We're going to lord over it, in fact. That's what I was thinking to myself. Everyone is going to praise this movie. It's a femme power, femme fatales, girl power, bitchin'. I shouldn't have said that. Not the language, just I can't really do that phrase, can I? Don't really pull it off. But you see what I mean? It doesn't work at all. You can't do that and then not expect people to pick it out on other movies. And that's one of the main gripes I have with this film, is literally everyone's an arsehole. All the men are arseholes. Literally, there's no redeemable man in this film. So it's a shame, really. They literally paint men to be the worst possible things ever. Yes, Ewan McGregor was right. It is a misogynist movie. It is a feminist movie. Every single man is a misogynist. Genuinely, every single man is. But to the extreme, like genuinely. There's this one man called Doc, who runs the Thai restaurant or Chinese restaurant below where Harlequin lives, right? And he's supposed to be this really nice character. And I thought to myself, great, finally we've got one good man. This was like, towards the tail end of the movie. And then bang, he sells her out for money. So literally the only redeemable man sells Harlequin out. It's so irritating. The other thing I got real problem with this movie is that it's called The Emancipation of One Harley Quinn, right? And that would work if this was set way down the line, way down the line after Suicide Squad, but it's not. This almost picks up pretty much immediately after Suicide Squad. Not that far off. And you might have missed it, but there's word for word when Harlequin is taking around Cassandra Cain through the shopping, going on a shopping spree but stealing food. She says, no, to be anything like me, you would have to do this, 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 and this. Right? The chain of events that she says are literally the chain of events we've already seen. They've not been together long enough for her to be emancipated from him, for fuck's sake. And like I say, there's a lot to like in this film for people that liked Suicide Squad. And I've got to keep repeating that. It's fairly evident that this film is just not for me. It's just not for me. And I am going to be doing a video of Birds of Prey versus Joker because it has to be pointed out. The insane double standards. It's disgusting. And I have a real problem with it. And again, like a lot of people keep saying, stop talking about politics on your channel. You're an entertainment channel. You're a movie review channel. And yes, I am. But unfortunately, when everyone chooses to inject their politics into movies, this one did it perfectly. I have to discuss it because it becomes part and parcel of the story that they are telling. And when every single man is a dickhead, I have to comment on it. It's part of the story. I have to review the said politics in the film. Now, anyway, there you go. There's not all that much else to really say about this film. The score was great, cinematography was great, lighting was great, the effects were great, the hyena was cool, everything, like from a technical perspective, was pretty damn good, but the writing fails the movie because of this awful backwards and forwards nonsense. It does not get up to any momentum to build to that big crescendo, and it feels like it is suffered from rewrites, okay? Now, I know we've had reshoots on this film, and I think that has impacted it, genuinely. Because, again, normal writers build to a crescendo so it gains pace. Even a slow film still picks up the pace. This film doesn't have any pace building to it. And it's a real shame. Because that would have made it better, actually. That would have genuinely made it a much better movie. It is 1 hour and 50 minutes long. And good God, do you feel it? So anyway, love to hear your thoughts. Let me know down below in the comment section whether you liked it, you disliked it, whether you agree with me or you disagree. I'm sure there's going to be a bunch of white knighting down below, I know it. But just remember, ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to be flicking anyone's bean online. They don't care what you say about them. There you go. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. If you're new here, do hit subscribe. Stay up to date on the world of pop culture movie news by hitting the bell notification icon. As always, I've been Mr. H. Take care.